Good day, our panels. We are the BSHM fourth year student in University of Eastern Pangasinan. I am Mary Siguray. My group mates are Gubugawan Angela, Chris Andy Vera, Sheramin Corpus, and Joanna Tabion. And now, our research title is Academic Performance of First Year Bachelor in Hospitality Management of Student in University of Eastern Pangasinan. An assessment of effect of COVID-19 pandemic. What is academic performance? Academic performance refers to the enhance of student currently state of knowledge and skill reflected in their GPA and also their formulation of their personality and academic growth from lower levels of student studied and higher levels. The rationale of studying academic performance in the context of ICT adoption is to present a significant relationship that exists between the two variables. The COVID-19 pandemic has impacted the university students who take online classes in the whole world. However, one of the affected outcome of COVID-19 can be the academic performance of students, such as they experience their first attempt towards online learning. To address the significance of online teaching in such emergency case, this study aims to investigate the effects of COVID-19 on the academic performance of students during the COVID-19 outbreak.
Statement of the problem. This study aimed to determine the effect of COVID-19 pandemic on the academic performance of first-year hospitality management student in University of Eastern Pangasinan. Specifically, it will seek to answer the following question. 1. What is the profile of the respondent in terms of the following variables? Age, gender. 2. What is the effect of COVID-19 pandemic performance in the academic performance of first year hospitality management student in University of Eastern Pangasinan? What are the factors that affect the academic performance of Eastern Pangasinan? 4. How to improve the student academic performance during COVID-19 pandemic? In this section, the following question and sub-question will answer through floating the questionnaire. Hypothesis. We sought also to answer if there is significant difference in the level of the satisfaction of academic performance of first year's Bachelor of Hospitality Management student in University of Eastern Pangasinan.
This is the process and procedure. In input, academic performance, demography profile, first year college student of University of Eastern Pangasinan, age, gender. In process, assessment of the academic performance of Bachelor Hospitality Management students, self-administered survey questionnaire. In output, website is envisioned as the output that will inform the wide audience with the assessment conducted the participant academic performance.
This part of the study describes the methods and procedures applied in the paper. It contains the research design, population, and locally of the study, data gathering tools, data gathering procedure, treatment of data, and ethical consideration. Research design. In this paper, the researchers utilize descriptive research designed to describe the assets and the effects of the COVID-19 to the academic performance of the first year hospitality management students and University of Eastern Pangasinan. According to Form Plus 2021 Descriptive Research Design, aims to determine the population, situation, or phenomenon being studied. Throughout the study, the researchers will only focus to the answer the question what and how through explaining and elucidating from data gathered, which help to know how the various conditions can derive from the subject. This research design is also an accurate and systematic process to describe a situation, population, or phenomenon. Furthermore, this design is rooted in the nature of the study, since the primary goal of the researchers is to know and expound information from the data collected without manipulating various factors that might affect the data utility. Regarding to the data, we will be able to simplify and amplify all those techniques to be gathered for the different aspects to sustain the betterment of the research they gathered.
Population and locale of the study. To determine the population of the study, the researcher decided to use purposive sampling techniques. The researcher will employ the techniques in choosing the respondents in accord with the set and imposed criteria in selecting participants. Moreover, this type of sampling technique is widely and commonly used in quantitative research to identify and choose information rich occurrence to make the most use of limited resources. Patton, Patton 2002. This entails seeking and evaluating individuals or groups who are particularly knowledgeable or experienced with an area of interest. Criswell and Plano 2011. In the study, this process will be applied in choosing the data's population size. On the other hand, this study is respectively conducted at University of Eastern Pangasinan. The researcher selected this place in consideration to its efficiency in utilizing the study. Purposive sampling techniques and quantitative research was used.
Data gathering tools. The researchers decide to gather the data through the use of self-administered survey questionnaire. It is divided into three parts where the chosen participants are decided to answer. The first part of survey questionnaire display their personal information where they have the autonomy to fill this so. For the second part, this will contain statement depicting to the effect of COVID-19 to the student academic performance. On the third part, this will compose a statement in relation to the factors that affect the respondent academic performance in the midst of crisis. This part of the statement where the student are expected to answer will be measured through the Likert scale. This in transferred into what extent the student into favor to the statement mentioned. Strongly agree to equivalent of to 4. Agree equates to 3. Disagree reciprocate 2. Is- while strongly disagree reflect 1. This one this was on online survey and they answer it through the use of Google form and it was divided into three components.
Data gathering procedure. Creation of survey questionnaire. The researchers will be formulating the questions in order to achieve the data needed for the study. It will compose statements and will be measured using the Likert scale that is composing of different levels on which extent to do agree or disagree with the given statement. Selection of the respondents. Using the purposive sampling technique, the researchers will select the respondents to control the size of the population who will participate in the study. orientation about the survey questionnaires content before asking the selected students to answer the questions in the study. They will be oriented for them to fully understand the directions along with the statements written in the survey questionnaire. Coding and analysis of the data. Upon successfully collecting the data, the researchers will throw, thoroughly check each participant's response. The data will be carefully assessed and practice honestly in doing this so. Formulation of the study's results. In line with the data gathered from the participants, the researchers will be formulating the result of the study, disregarding the personal attachments to it. The data to be presented will solely in accord to the result of the data gathered. Output. In record to the study result, an output which is a website will be conducted by the researchers to achieve its goal, which is to give accessible information for all in line with this topic.
Treatment of the data. As the researchers gathered the data, they are compiled, tabulated, sorted, and organized. They are subjects to statistical treatment to answer the question that have been proposed in this paper. Substantially, the statistical tools employed are the frequency distribution, percentage, and Likert scale. Frequency distribution and percentage. To describe the profile of the respondents, the percentage will be computed. The frequency and distribution will be used to categorize the respondents and accord to their personal background, variables such as age and year label. The researcher will utilize the formula below to determine the proportion of first-year hospitality management students who will answer in a certain way, where percentage, frequency, total of respondents.
Likert scale. The responses to questions in the given variables will be measured using the Likert scale and given weight where this procedure is adapted from Vargas 2016. Range of score 3.41 to 4 was B strongly agree. 2.61 to 3.40 agree. 1.81 to 2.60 disagree. 1 to 1.80 strongly disagree.
Ethical consideration. Before asking the respondents to participate in the study, the researchers will ask them to confirm what validates their willingness to partake in the paper's data, wherein there is no indication that they are forced to engage with the research. It is also being identified on the consent form made by the researchers that the information they will fill in shall remain confidential unless the researchers unless they commit to do so. For instance, in the participant wishes to restrict his engagement to the study, the researchers will be glad to consider the decision. The data containing responses from the previous respondents will be permanently terminated by the researchers to value their privacy and security. The researchers will willingly accept their withdrawal and will look for another respondent in the same group and qualification. Nonetheless, the responses of the new participants will be added to the authenticity of the paper's data. Ethical consideration. A research team has to consider why conducting research. They are in place to protect the participants of a study from physical, psychological, or social harm through participation in the study. For examples, informed consent, right, right to withdraw, privacy, and data protection.